Welcome back. I've spent the last few days trying to develop a sanding station for my homemade lathe. Since turning is not a very common operation in my workshop, I've thought about getting more use out of the engine by adding a belt sander and a small thickness sander. It wasn't easy coming up with a design that would allow for quick and easy detachment of the sanders and comfortable sand cloth replacement, and at the same time work smoothly without vibrations. But in the end, I believe I've achieved a good result. In this way, setting up the sanding station is fast, and so is replacing the sand cloth in the drum of the thickness sander. Also, to replace the belt on the belt sander, I only need to remove these 4 screws. Now let's see how I made it. As always, I'm going to cut all the pieces according to the cutting list. This is the holding system for the belt sander. I will use the same system as before. I'll also glue a couple of pieces of sand cloth to it to further ensure its attachment. Now I'll cut the sides down to size and into the appropriate shape with the table saw and the inverted jigsaw. I'll attach one of the sides to mark the exact position of the bearing. I drill holes on both sides and on the respective counterpart with an adjustable bit. The bearing must fit in tightly and just deep enough so that it is secured in its position. I put the first bearing in its place. If the depth is not correct, we could make some wooden washers to make up for it. This is the hole allowing us to adjust the belt sander's position from left to right. Now I'll prepare the rest of the pieces. This hole is for dust suction. I cut these pieces for the big traction wheel. I drill with a bit 1 mm less thick than the threaded rod. Although a hole of the same diameter could be made and we could glue the wheel to the rod. By inserting them like this and bonding them together, it will be enough. After measuring and cutting the rod down to size, I put it in its emplacement. I insert the bearing on the other side and secure it in its location. If we don't need a thickness sander and we only want to use the belt sander, I won't have to attach this second bearing, but doing this, I can achieve a more aligned, resistant shaft. With this union nut, I'll achieve enough traction to turn it and trim it down to size. With this operation, I'll avoid unwanted vibrations. Now I'll start with the elevation system for the small upper wheel. I will attach this metal blade to it to avoid damaging the plywood with the screw head. Now I'll machine the pieces for the small wheel. First the hole for the bearings. I insert the bearings and glue the three pieces together. Once the glue is dry, I'll use the disc sander to obtain a perfect wheel. Now I'll attach the elevation system like this. This last nut is a locking nut and must be a little loose to allow the bearings to turn. That is all for today. I hope to upload the second part of the video in a couple days. Stay tuned.